Hello. It's time for another Fertility Hot Seat. Who is ready? Let's let you all start to come on. All right, here we go. People are rolling on. Hello, hello, hello. So, it's that time of the month. Every other week on a Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, I do what is called my Fertility Hot Seat, where one of you requests to join me live. And we are going to do a live to my audience, so everybody sees this video, and it's gonna live on my Instagram TV. We're going to do a live free 15-minute consult on your case, and I'm going to give you tips and pointers and advice. So a couple things to know. Yes, it goes live to everyone, and it's going to live on my Instagram TV. So you have to feel comfortable sharing your story with the public. Know, though, that sharing lifts the shame, and you are helping others as you help yourself. And two, I am not a medical doctor. I am a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine. I've been practicing for 17 years. I am the author of, I'm looking for my books, of this book called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, which is a bestseller. It's always in like the top 10 on Amazon under books on fertility. And I also authored this book. I was a research scientist and have degrees in biology and chemistry and in studying functional medicine. I have a lot of knowledge, clinical knowledge to help you, but this is not medical advice. This is advice based on my 17 years of clinical experience. And anything I do tell you, I also ask that you clear it with your physician. So let's see. Has anybody requested to come on live yet? I know there was some people saying they wanted to join me live in the comments, but let's see. Has anybody? I see a lot of you watching, so why doesn't someone hit the request to join Amy live button, and I'll bring you on and you can share your story and I can help you figure out what the hell is going on with your fertility and how to get to that baby faster. All right, someone just said I will. Okay, so you have to I think I can I can go live with you. Okay. My fertility journey IVF. Yeah, I saw someone else. Okay. Of course, they start rolling in. Okay, so I picked you, my fertility. There we go. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for, I think being brave enough to share your story to everyone out here. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I like your picture because I feel like you commented earlier on the post, right? And I looked at your picture of the blastocyst is so pretty. You're welcome. So tell me what's going on. How can I help?
So I was diagnosed with endometriosis. I've been having fertility issues for 4.5 years. I've done from acupuncture, Chinese medicine. My doctor had me go low carb for a while, lost a bunch of weight. And this past summer we decided to do IVF. Because it had been so long. And when we went to do IVF, egg quality was really poor. The doctor said my eggs responded PCOS-like.
Okay.
Which I'm still not quite sure what that means.
Yeah.
But that, the quality was really low.
Okay.
So he put me on metformin. I'm on a wide array of supplements now from L.Ac, alpha lipoic. I'm not sure if I said that right. Lipoic.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. And so we have one more blast that we're going to try, but we'll more than likely have to do IVF again.
Okay. So how many did you get in the retrieval?
We only got 9.
Okay.
And then 5 arrested right away. And then 4 arrested right away, and then 3, and we only got 2. I don't know if my math is right there,
Yeah,
but
okay.
The way they arrested,
so you got 2
they only let them.
blastocysts?
No, they only let them go to day 3.
Okay. Okay, so 2 day 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we
And
didn't test. You did a fresh transfer, or you froze and okay.
I did a fresh, and then I've started acupuncture again.
Okay.
Um, and my acupuncturist says that I'm very,
Kidney
um,
young. That's what you wrote in there. I remember.
yeah, my I have all the symptoms of that.
Okay. And then does your acupuncturist have you on any Chinese herbs?
I'm not doing any herbs right now.
Okay. And
I
then
have done them in the past.
okay. And how long have you been on the metformin?
Since September.
Okay. And
And
then
then
go ahead.
I also don't think I'm ovulating. Um, I don't have many signs of ovulation happening.
But your cycle's coming regularly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I have a short luteal phase.
Okay. And so when was that IVF?
July.
Oh, July. Okay, July. And then so since you've been trying naturally again?
Not really. Kind of just
No.
been taking a mental break
Okay. Okay.
from everything.
Yeah. Okay. And then sperm checked out to be okay?
There is some issues there as well.
Yes. Because when you see the like this is again a clinical experience. I don't know that I've ever gotten a full explanation for it either, but when you see the embryos arrest like that, sometimes they say that's more of a sperm issue than of an egg issue. So I think there's additional tests too that you could do on the sperm, like the DNA fragmentation test. I don't know if you've looked into that, and then having him do like the daddy diet or supplements. I have a whole blog post on it too, which we could send you if you DM us after. We could send you the things that he could do. And then what about diet wise for you right now? I know you've tried so many different things. What do you currently landed on? What's working?
So I'm following your diet, but being so many years on keto, I am always hesitant of now carbs. I have almost like this mental stopping myself from like eating beans or things. So I'm trying to follow your diet to
Which
a point
one?
where
Yes, you can get pregnant, or bodybuilding?
yes, you can get pregnant.
Okay.
And and also being conscious of if I do have PCOS and endometriosis, trying to limit that sugar.
This might be the better diet for you, the one in here, which is like, yes, you can get pregnant. I always say is a really good starting point, but when I suspect endometriosis or like any kind of inflammatory condition, body belief might be better for you. There's still carbs in it. I think the macros are probably like 25% carbs or something like that, but you could play around with what works for you. And, the carbs are mainly in like sweet potatoes or butternut squash, that type of thing. There's not, it's an elimination diet, and you kind of get down to the bare bones where it's just protein, vegetables, fat. And then I think from there, then you reintroduce, and it's all kind of mapped out for you in the book. And we have an eating plan we could actually share with you, which is like a PDF document. But then you could figure out like exactly what is working for you. And I do have too, similar to Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, but where there's what I call the red flag symptom list. So like any other symptoms going on in your body. So you can start to track how your body is shifting and adjusting to the diet versus just based on your fertility, which might feel like too much pressure. But a lot of my endometriosis girls do really well on this diet because you eliminate like nightshade vegetables and beans and some nuts. And it's like, but it's again, the strictest part of the diet is 11 days. It's not that, like extreme. And then you can start to slowly add things back in. But I would think about going there. And I think keto, are you fasting or are you just doing low carb? Okay.
No, just low carb. But I've found since I've been on metformin that I really struggle to lose weight.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with the metformin. I don't seem to
metformin
have
doesn't allow you to absorb fat. And so if keto and you're eating mainly fat, like that's where that's gonna then you probably do need some more carbs. Like I do think like in your situation, doing the keto to lose weight, if you were overweight, is smart. And then it's like a good set point. But then now to like, do you know what your BMI is now or what range it's in?
I think I'm a little over, but not, I'm like right on the cusp.
Yeah. So I would almost maybe not focus on the weight loss and rather just like, you need carbs for healthy hormones. You do for balanced hormones. And so it's just the right kind of carbs, right? Versus yeah, I probably don't want you eating a ton of pasta and bread, but you could do, the complex carbs that come from vegetables or maybe even rice or that kind of thing. And maybe play around with your ranges, but that you might be too low carb, that will compromise that quality too, because we need the carbs for a healthy hormone balance. Like a woman needs them. And fasting is typically not recommended either. I heard Elisa Vitti doing a interview the other day, and she was saying, like, if anything, you could fast in the follicular phase, but definitely not in the luteal phase, because it'll kind of screw things up. And like with your short luteal phase, I just wonder, we would say in Chinese medicine, you don't have enough yang to hold that phase up. It's like you're not warm enough. And so we need that, like, we almost need those carb rich foods to really help hold it. So I would think about, and you could look at the body belief diet too, and you could still, I think you still have room to go on the fat. Like, I think fat is imperative and awesome for egg quality. So it could be, maybe you're at like 50% fat and 30% protein and then 20% carbs might be like a nice ratio for you.
Okay.
But from the inflammatory perspective, that is what you want to get a hold on. So you want to figure out, like, is your digestion good? Are your bowel movements good?
Yeah, I mean, my one thing that I know my hormones are right off whack, one, because of I was saying I don't think I'm ovulating, but two, I have really bad back acne and chest acne. So my hormones are really off, and I'm, hoping the acupuncture and the diet, but is there anything else I can be doing?
Yeah, so I mean, I would think about, making sure, like, fish oil, right? I'm sure you're on it for inflammation, and like upwards of like 3 to 4 grams a day, like a good strong dose, which should really help lower.
Okay, I don't think I'm that high.
Most people aren't. Most people are at like 1,000, 1,500 a day. So look at your dose and try to like double it. And that's what I would do. And maybe split it up. Make sure you have it with some food in your stomach. Make sure you're getting enough vitamin D in. I would think about something like, lately I've been really into this, like something with they're called sulforaphanes, but they help your body clear out and detox estrogen, but without clearing estrogen, because you need some estrogen obviously for a good healthy cycle. So broccoli sprouts are some of the best things. You can like either eat them on a daily basis, or they make there's like a broccoli sprout powder extract that you could like add to like a smoothie or something.
Okay.
In Body Belief, there's a recipe for this. It's called liver support juice, which is similar. That would really help your body process out, because the acne is telling us there's heat and inflammation, right? And like some phlegm and stagnation. That's how we see it in Chinese medicine. So we want to help the body process or detox out. So, and I also usually recommend like, around 80 grams of protein a day, and then also 6 to 8 servings of vegetables, and ideally more green vegetables, cruciferous vegetables than anything else. If you can get upwards of those two things, you typically then get enough fat and your carbs are in a healthy range, and you kind of avoid anything else. So the elimination diet might be what's like really best for you to just figure out what is causing the acne. Maybe there's something that's generating more heat in your body than needed, or your body can't process this entirely. It could be the metformin could be playing a role too. The stress could be playing a role. I would look at that too, because it's like heat above, that's what we say in Chinese medicine. There could be heat above and then cold below, which is what perhaps your acupuncturist is saying with the yang deficiency. But we want to think about how to best support your body in clearing out that excess, and then emotionally too, for you to, express your anger and your sadness and your grief, and, kind of get it out as much as you can. And the frustration.
4.5 years, which I'm sure a lot of people can feel. You go through every emotion.
Yeah, it sucks, and you're probably just like numb at this point. I'm like, what the fuck up more can I do?
Yeah.
So I mean, you might like the Body Belief plan because it's pretty structured, and like it sounds like you're super educated and you've tried all the things. So it's like I think you would have the tools to then figure out like, oh, this could work for me, this doesn't work for me, and almost use the red flag symptom list to see how things are changing, and use the acne and the ovulation as like your two big predictors of like, okay, am I starting to see? And I would do things like castor oil packs, and like just to really kind of start getting your body back into the swing of ovulating, because so the short luteal phase. So then some months you see, so you're doing BBTs. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
You see the spike and then a short luteal phase, but not every
Yeah.
month you see the spike.
Yeah, but like cervical mucus, which I've read is like the telltale sign that you're fertile, is pretty much like not really happening, or it happens like on day 10 and then it goes away.
So that might be
So
where he was talking about like the PCOS, like where perhaps there's a lot of follicles and like your AMH, is it high?
it's normal.
Okay. Maybe you responded though, you generated a lot, but then you retrieved 9. I'm trying to think. Were there more growing at one point and then when they went in for retrieval? No.
No.
I wonder what he meant then.
I think he was saying my egg quality was low, which told him PCOS, but I was confused because
because that
I
could
heard
also
so
be
much
inflammation.
endometriosis.
Yeah, it could just be inflammation. And what is your period like? Is it painful or clotty? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you've had a million things thrown at you, but like if you were a client of mine, the first thing I would do is put you on the body belief diet, like the elimination diet, and have you go through that for 30 days. And like, then we start to figure out and like piece out what's going on. Because a lot of girls, their cycles will restore some normalcy too. And then you slowly add things back in and see how your body reacts. But almost that we want to see like your period shift, the acne go away, digestion to feel really like smooth and easy, and obviously ovulation to be restored. But that's where I would go. And especially like I think about it from like the egg quality perspective, is like we just have to reduce the inflammation, and we also have to remove anything that your body is getting inflamed from or can actually process and digest, because that's leading to malnutrition. And when you're malnourished and your hormones are imbalanced, and then your egg quality would be compromised, right? But I would try to approach it like that, where it's like, I do think this is, I mean, I know it's been a long journey, but still fixable. I would say that. And then increase your fish oil. I had another question. The endo, was that diagnosed via laparoscopy or did you have surgery to remove it?
I did.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
I had surgery. My first surgery was like 4 years ago. And then I had cysts. So I had another one a year and a half ago, but the endo was not really back adhesion wise. So they didn't really remove much.
Okay.
The second time.
So the N-acetylcysteine you're taking, which I'm sure you probably read the research about how it's supportive of endometriosis, right? That like 3, then
and I
4.
just started that.
Okay, that Wobenzym is another one too. WOBNZYM. It's a digestive enzyme, but it helps break up inflammation and adhesions. It's a powerful anti-inflammatory. That's something else that you can take. And there was an interesting study that actually someone sent me. You could just Google it, like Wobenzym and inflammation, or it was recurrent pregnancy loss was the study that they did. It was a couple hundred women actually. It was pretty impressive. But I think it reduced inflammation enough. And I think too, because of the digestive enzyme, it actually helps you digest your food and then absorb the nutrition you need and get rid of what you don't need. The powerful anti-inflammatory, that then these women that were having losses stopped miscarrying, which is also really interesting. And typically recurrent pregnancy loss and endometriosis are kind of interlinked, in some interesting way. And I think it's because of inflammation. But I would look at that, the Wobenzym. I would do, and I talk about Wobenzym in this book too. Okay. I would look at this diet and try it. Do the purify phase, because you're probably already living like in the prep phase. So just go right into the purify phase, which is like 11 days, super clean. Then just follow what the book says, but then slowly start to add things back in, and let's see how things shift for you. And the diet is mainly, it's, all cooked foods. We stay away from all cold raw, which would compromise the yang further for you. But also to think like, why, like this is where I'm an acupuncture nerd, why is the yang deficient? Like, so yang, we say, comes in through the from the heavens in through the head, and then it has to go down the tube, and it anchors below the kidney and the spleen. So my sense with this heat above the acne is something's blocked in here, and it's probably digestive, and it could be emotional too. So you can't just add more yang. Does that make sense? We got to figure out why it's not getting where it needs to go. And so I'd let your acupuncturist do that, but this will be on my on my page so she could watch it if she wants to, and like to think about that from that perspective of like, where is there a blockage that's not allowing the young to get to where it needs to go, and why? And so to help you open that up, a lot of times what I see is it is digestive. You know, that we say there's a block in like the spleen stomach. That's a Chinese medicine thing, and how to open that up. And a lot of times that's why the diet does help so much, because we take out all the stuff that we can't process, but then also think about all the emotions that you can't process. Like, you know, that's your work. It's much bigger than this short consult, unfortunately. But, you know, what am I not processing? What am I not absorbing? What am I not like taking in? What am I not receiving? And then how to let yourself start to receive more too. But I think the diet would really help you get there. Increasing the fish oil, try the enzyme. And yeah, I mean, I do obviously think acupuncture is very powerful. You know, I use it a lot. And if she's an herbalist, that maybe you entertain some herbs too, even if it's for a month or two, to just to kind of try to get the cycle back on track.
Okay. Wonderful.
You have any more questions for me?
No, I think, you know, that's really helpful. I know that I have to take that control of my eating, and I think one of it's patience, right? Because it takes a while, and I feel like I've been doing it a long time, but you know, I have added in supplements, and I'll try the elimination diet and see, because you know, when you're in the situation, you'll pretty much do anything.
Well, that's it. And it's also like, you're still here, so you still have hope. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then I always trust in divine timing. Like, whatever you found me, you were compelled to join this and hear what I had to say. And so why not, you know, you never want to look back and regret. And I think you do want to like look under every stone. And even if you were just coming to me for acne and an irregular menstrual cycle, and you weren't even trying to get pregnant, this is where I would start with you anyway. Do you know what I mean? So think of it like that too, of like, your fertility is an extension of your health. These are some things that we need to get in line, and then let's see how things shift from there.
Okay.
But also, you have every right to, like, I think you should very much honor the anger, throw a temper tantrum, be pissed off. This has been a long freaking journey. It's, you know, it's not fun. But you still have hope. You do. You know?
No, that's for sure. And I appreciate your account and all the podcasts you do and everything. They're very helpful.
Oh, thank you. Well, I try.
Yeah.
I do believe that this is figure outable. Absolutely. You know, so it's just
good. Well, that gives me hope too.
Staying the course, and then also, but being easy on yourself in it all too.
Okay.
All
okay.
Right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Keep us posted.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Well, that was sweet. Is Benzene safe during pregnancy? I usually have women stop just because it breaks things up. It's an enzyme. You know, there's like proteolytic enzymes, they're called. And I don't want to break up an embryo. So that's how I look at it. But I could be overthinking it. So I'm just very protective of you once you get pregnant. Let's see. Any other questions? That was a nice case. Does anybody have questions about that case? No questions, just lots of hearts. Okay, everybody enjoyed that. I did too. Yeah, I think there are shifts that she could make. I do think if you suspect or you know you have endometriosis, 100% the body belief diet is where it is at for you. The Yes You Can Get Pregnant diet is a great diet and a great starting point, but when we're dealing with a known and very, you know, complicated inflammatory disease like endo, body belief is where it's at. Why is the short luteal phase bad? Because it tells us that there's not enough progesterone to hold a pregnancy. So it's going to be very hard to get pregnant with a short luteal phase. And remember, the progesterone comes from the follicle. So they call it the egg house. So the follicle houses the egg that you're going to release when you ovulate. And then the follicle releases, the egg comes out. Hopefully it fertilizes with the sperm. And then the ruptured follicle sits there and becomes what's called the corpus luteum, and it secretes progesterone to maintain that luteal phase. You need the progesterone to be able to hold a pregnancy. Do you advise castor oil packs during your period? Only if they're super crampy and clotty, but usually I try not to do them on the heavy days. And then like once the period starts to lighten up, yes, because it can cause a heavier flow. Everybody's different though, so hard to say. I needed to hear this. Good. What is cruciferous vegetables giving me gas? Yeah, so some people can't handle the sulfur in the cruciferous vegetables. So make sure they're cooked, cook them with a fat, but you might do better with like the broccoli sprout powder extract I was talking about. Try that and then ease yourself in. Some people just don't do well on cruciferous. I do terrible. Like I'm great. Like I had Brussels sprouts for lunch. Perfectly fine. Broccoli, perfectly fine. Cauliflower wrecks me. So everybody's different. Oh, Jemiah, miss you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. If ovulation is positive, UVA is giving you good progesterone levels, what would you suggest is the issue? It could be, sperm and egg meeting. It could be implantation. Still just, not the right egg or not the right sperm. There could be nothing wrong. It's just a timing thing. So how do you increase progesterone? I mean, again, like I said, you really got to work on the health of that follicle. That is the key. So it's really about the whole cycle. And so my books really cover all of that. I think especially as you can get pregnant. If you're using castor oil packs while actively trying to conceive, should you stop after ovulation? Yes. Google Amy Raup and castor oil pack, and you will see my video on it with my blog on all the tips. Okay, guys, this was fun. I'm going to go. And what are arrested embryos? So they just stop growing. So basically they retrieve the eggs, they fertilize it with the sperm, and they arrest, which means they stopped growing. And that's not what you want, because that's not going to make a baby. You want them to continue to grow out. Okay. Okay, guys. How is process interrupted with endo? I'm not sure what you mean. Process interrupted with endo. Endo is just inflammation. It's an inflammatory disease that looks a lot like an autoimmune condition. I often talk about them interchangeably as if they are autoimmune, but I guess technically they're not. It's not an autoimmune condition, but what I find is when I treat endometriosis like an autoimmune condition and do an elimination diet and do the autoimmune paleo diet along with other things, it responds very, very well. Development of follicle. So it's the inflammation which is not it's not basically the best breeding ground. So the environment is not healthy for that follicle to develop, and so it won't get everything it needs, and it just won't be the best quality. That's how I would look at it. So you really got to get a handle on the inflammation first, and then when the inflammation goes down, then the egg quality should improve. Folliculogenesis should improve. Okay. Now I'm really going to go. I'll see you guys later.